laws that would still be enforceable. Constitutional provisions. Constitution as supreme law, the U.S. Constitution and state constitutions are the supreme law of the land. Their provisions are inherently enforceable without needing additional statutory authority. Fundamental rights. Many constitutions explicitly protect fundamental rights, such as the right to life, liberty, and property. For example, 1. Right to life. The Due Process Clause of the 14th Amendment protects the right to life, which can be interpreted to prohibit murder. 2. Equal protection. Provisions that guarantee equal protection under the law ensure that all individuals have their basic rights protected, and this can include protections against acts like murder. Laws that would not be enforceable. Lack of constitutional basis. Statutory-only basis. Laws that are purely statutory and do not derive from or relate to constitutional provisions would not be enforceable if their statutory basis were removed. These laws rely entirely on the legislative framework that created them. Specific regulations and codes. Many detailed regulations and codes are enacted by legislatures to address specific societal needs and functions. For example, 1. Traffic regulations, speed limits, parking rules, and other traffic laws are created through statutes. 1. If these statutes were unratified, there would be no constitutional provision directly supporting their enforcement. 2. Tax codes, specific tax regulations, rates, and rules are established by statutory law. 2. Without these statutes, the mechanisms for tax collection and enforcement would not exist. Summary. 1. Enforceable laws, fundamental rights, and protections embedded in the U.S. Constitution and state constitutions remain enforceable because they derive their authority directly from the constitutional text. 1. These provisions do not need additional statutory laws to be effective. 2. Non-enforceable laws. Statutory laws without a constitutional basis depend entirely on the legislative framework that created them. 2. If their statutory basis were unratified, there would be no legal foundation for their enforcement, as they do not derive authority from the Constitution or fundamental legal principles. This distinction underscores the difference between constitutional law, which has inherent authority, and statutory law, which requires a legislative basis for its creation and enforcement.